Okay. What it do, y'all? Welcome to your monthly Earth Tribe report. This is the Peace Dealer, your favorite magician, aka MPC, aka astrologer, astromancie. You know what it is. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's break down this Libra season for you. I did this a little bit earlier. I just felt like doing this like 2 hours earlier, but we probably will honor the 5 p.m. PST time. But yeah, let's see if we catch anyone here with this earlier time. Yes, shout out to my Taurus suns, moons, risings, Taurus rising here personally. Shout out to my Virgo suns and risings. Shout out to my Capricorn suns and risings. If you have these progressed, this is still going to be accurate for ya. You heard? So let me know. And yeah, I think we can pretty much just jump right into the first video. We can jump right into Taurus rather. And yeah, hold on. Oh, shit. What the fuck? That was weird. All right, cool. All right, thank you guys for your patience. So yeah, we're gonna do this. First of all, shout out to the Earth signs. We are in y'all dimension. Taurus Sun from NYC. Yeah, y'all. I was about to go in on what I like about each of the Earth sign women. And then I was like, let me not do that because that's going to sound stupid. But now that's why I want to do that. So let me sound stupid. First of all, I am very biased because I have Earth rising and Earth moon. Okay, I got the Capricorn moon and I got the Taurus rising. So Virgo's in my 5th house. Let me tell you something about them Earth signs, man. Let me tell you something about them Earth signs, man. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Like fire signs are hot as fuck, right? And water signs have this like elusive, alluring gorgeousness, right? You can't put your finger on why they just, wow, like what are y'all mesmerizing, right? And air signs are cool. Air signs have a different type of beauty. It shows their personality. They could be strikingly beautiful too, but ooh, you earth signs. There's just this like earth signs got the body. That's how you know someone is like a legit earth sign. And if you notice, 9 times out of 10, they're all natural. Yeah, the earth sign could do surgery on her body, but they usually all natural. Even if they did do surgery too, most of the stuff is all homegrown, which is one thing. I'm not against people who do surgery or not, but like, yes, Taurus, I have my Venus in Taurus, so I'm biased. Taurus has this just solid beauty. We gonna get to Capricorn. Capricorn got them bones, yes. Taurus just has this like solid beauty, yo. Yeah, my Venus is in Taurus, so I'm mad biased, but Taurus is solid. It's hard for me to meet an ugly Taurus woman. Even if they're not conventionally like beautiful, they just have this like quality. Y'all got this quality to ya. Nah, you're like a Gucci bag that never really goes old. It's still good quality even in old age. You feel me? Taurus got the strength too. And y'all just have this natural beauty that I appreciate, doesn't even need makeup. That's the cool thing about most earth signs. You can definitely see that. Like Taurus definitely has they look so comfortable naturally. And then Virgo has Virgo body. Virgo usually has like the hourglass body. Like you could tell if someone Virgo, like especially if the Virgo woman, the fine Virgo woman, y'all always have this smooth ass skin. I would say that for Taurus and Capricorn too. Y'all got this earthy, smooth skin that's just natural. You feel me? Virgo is very alluring. Virgo just has this like almost too perfect proportions, and y'all skin be too soft, perfect and neat. It's almost it's a little sus. Scorpio takes it a little bit deeper, but Virgo, you fine. And then Capricorn, yes, I can see Pisces. I can see why you had a Virgo addiction. I'm recovering from a Capricorn addiction. The Capricorn addictions be the worst. Okay. And this is just very, 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 very it hurts in a certain way. All right, yeah, Capricorn addictions. I've been addicted to Capricorn for years. It's only recently, like it's only over the past like it was around 2020 I got over my Capricorn addiction. It was Leo. It was Leo that helped me get over my Capricorn addiction. I just became obsessed with Leo. But that being said, or at least a certain Leo, Capricorn has this incredible gorgeousness where they just have the complete look. They got the body, the face, all of it is crazy. I'm very biased though. It's because my moon is there. So I just feel Earth in a different way. All my Earth moons, you know what I'm talking about. It's a little different. It's a little different. But I've been sleeping on Virgo moon. I have been sleeping on Virgo moon. Y'all are dangerous. You Virgo moons are dangerous, yo. And Virgo rising too. I've been sleeping on Virgo rising too. Y'all definitely just have this natural perfection to you. Taurus is solid. Capricorn is literally like an incredible beauty. It's like there's power behind their beauty. And you can feel, I know with the moon, I can feel it. I don't know. The Capricorn obsessions be mad depressing though. Cause it's just like, Capricorn is ruthless. They're like, get away from me, you fucking loser. And it's like, It depends. Not all the time. Cash Day vibe in a season, bro. Don't worry, that book is coming soon, fam. That book is coming soon, fam. I'm gonna give you the lowdown on all the signs and give you my research to date. Anyway, that was a fun intro. Ice Spice, yes, I feel you. She got the Scorpio moon. That's another thing. Scorpio moon woman. Oh my goodness. I noticed that. Like, I haven't seen a woman with a Scorpio moon that doesn't have that like alluringness in their eyes. Like, there's a way they look at you with their eyes. Anything Scorpio, really. They have that eye thing. They have, I don't know how to put it in the words, but it's just like they look into, I can't. It is what it is. Anyway, that being said, that you can literally see like the darkness and the depth. It's just sexiness incarnate, but it's cool. That being said, y'all, we're gonna go into Libra season, aka cuffing season. Yes, cuffing season has begun. If you consider that cuffing season, right? But yeah, let's actually kind of go into what to expect. We're going to start with Taurus, Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising. Okay. Natal, progressed. You are welcome in this office. All right. Welcome to Office Hours with the Peacedealer. We will, of course, break this down accordingly if you're not aware. This is just what we do here, all right? This is just what we do here. And we will, of course, get this show on the road. As you can see, Taurus, Libra is your 6th house. Libra makes, of course, a 150 to 180 degree angle to your sun. Okay. And this is an integrative angle that puts you in a position to realistically begin to socially integrate your natural value. This is one step after, of course, we take, and this is the analogy I will always use for the earth signs, we take your value, Taurus, and we brought it to the market, Virgo. Okay, so I always like to use this earth sign analogy. Taurus is the market, it's the actual money. Sorry, Taurus is the actual value. So, you either have your money that you're going to take to the store, or you have product that you're going to take to the market, right? So Taurus is your value, and then Virgo is the market. Virgo is the market with which we buy and sell. That's why they're haggling masters. You're not going to overcharge a Virgo. There's no Virgo that's going to overpay for something for what it's worth. They're going to get their discount, or they're going to get their finesse and maybe get a profit. Right. And then Capricorn is the actual economy. It's the economic system that allows the market to function. Without, of course, the system, the market would go haywire. It wouldn't be regulated. And all sorts of things can happen. All sorts of nefarious practices can occur. So Taurus, of course, we went through Virgo season, right? And now the 6th house of Virgo, this is an extension of you taking your value to the market, right? You, relative to your previous May of this year, wow, we're already in September, which is crazy, because back in Taurus season, we had the conjunction, of course, of Uranus and the sun. Let me actually show you, because this is actually significant, especially for you Taurus risings, where this happened in your 1st house. Okay. So we legitimately did have the sun conjunct Uranus. I'm 27 degrees Taurus rising. So this actually happened exactly on my AC. Right. And the reason why this is significant is this is the very last time you are activating this final level of innovation of your worth. 2018 up until now, which is why I always use the example of Jaguar Wright, DJ Academics, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens. Look at them 2018, look at them now. Look at how they were able to use their independent platform as producers in order to share radical ideas, but to also express a radical sense of self-worth. Because these people are, and that's the Uranian radical revolutionary element of this. These individuals were having to go against mainstream platforms. You saw this with DJ Academics going against the radio. You see this with Candace Owens going against the president of France. That's so funny. I'm sorry. You see this with Tucker. You see this with Jaguar. All right. Taurus North Node. I mean, Taurus North Node, we can do aspects to it. But since you're not the North Node, the only thing I would say around that is this Libra season is just going to be integrating what you unlocked past Taurus season, right? If you guys want to do aspects to the nodes, you just have to take into account what was happening during that period. Great question. But yes, with that being said, this theme of Uranus and Taurus, and even for Scorpio to a degree, just at the opposite level, has been the representation of the individual producer against the society, against the collective that wants to keep that individual in their place. But you saw through these Tauruses, they made a name for, I'm going to make a name for myself. Like they literally forced their way into the conversation, which is why I will always honor them. Like hate them or not, whether you like them or not, they played their role very superbly in this way, for better or for worse. And that's a representation of all of us who have our own ability to be on our own platforms, right? So this is the very last year sextile Saturn in Pisces. So you have this unlocking of Pisces in your 11th house that is making your dream world come true. Everything you've ever dreamed to accomplish and the rewards that come in with who has the integrity to achieve that with you. This is what we're unlocking with the North Node in Pisces. And last March, you've spent 6 months since then taking these beliefs around what that's supposed to look like and making it real through Virgo. Really, and what did you do in between that? You activated this final conjunction with Uranus. Look at where it's going to be next year. Moving forward from next year to 2032, you're going to be innovating your money. You're going to be exponentially multiplying how much bread and dough and money you finna get. And that's why this is so important, because look at where it was last year. Jupiter was expanding the pool of liquidity you can come into, and now Uranus is going to expand it. So this is like last year you expanded how much money you make, and now coming into next year, you can accept crypto. You can accept all sorts of different payments, and now it's going to make it like how much you're going to innovate your sense of self-esteem and your worth. And that can only happen because you innovated your sense of self and how valuable you carry yourself. You took your independent value and you invested in it. Think of the radical insanity it would take for Candace Owens or for a DJ Academics to double down on their own wealth and themselves, and to keep going when society was telling people to cancel them. That's the Uranian element everyone has right now, especially if you have a Taurus rising, especially if you have a Taurus sun. You have, of course, radically defined your worth. And that's why since then, the last time we've taken it into Libra. So we've passed the 6 months since Virgo. We've gone through the South Node, which is unlocking the mastery of your creative talents, socially integrated, taking your value, taking it to the market socially, and now understanding and unlocking how this contributes towards your rewards. Because that's the most important thing for Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. You guys are having very relevant 10th house aspects right now. And for you, Taurus, with Pluto that is awakening more controversy in your legacy than ever, like, do you think it's a coincidence? I'm going to use more Tauruses as an example. Even The Rock, look at how The Rock's name is being spoken of and how controversial he is. Look at how controversial Candace Owens is right now. Look at how controversial DJ Academics is right now. Look at how controversial Tucker Carlson is right now. Look at how controversial Jaguar Wright is right now. They're all Taurus suns. That has a lot to do with Pluto in their 10th house of reputation and legacy. Pluto of exposing secret information, of maybe being villainous. It's not like it all has to play out the same way, but it's not a coincidence. You're seeing these similarities. And this is that Pluto breaking through the glass ceiling for some of you, breaking the limits of what kind of accomplishments you can come into. This is you being typecasted as a villain. It could be a myriad of things, but we cannot discount that intensity. And then we apply the 11th house of Pisces, which is the experience and effect of those rewards from career. So this is actually hooking you up ridiculously. Over the next 2 years, Saturn is going to go through your 12th house in Aries, and Neptune is going to begin to reimagine the secret identity of sorts, this inner understanding of who you are. But regardless, now that we're opposite your 12th in Libra, You are integrating everything since your birthday that you manifested the idea of your worth in Gemini. You began to communicate the feeling of your mindset in Cancer. You integrated the courage to perform that socially on stage in Leo. You fully expressed your taking of the value into the market of Virgo. And now Libra is the social integration that's having you tie all of these together. Okay. And as you tie all of this together, this is going to apply this behavior mainly of how specifically you're going to be in this position to now take necessary action with the right people who integrate your values socially with others. And this is where the opposition to a Neptune and Saturn retrograding back into Pisces is going to not only both be somewhat challenging, but this is where, as we kick off the first part of this breakthrough season and arc, I think you see more development than ever in preparing to close the year out, amongst other things, of course. But this is what's going to really add just that much more traction. And relative to how, Virgo, you've been able to manifest and express this quality of your value, aka taking your value to the market, Venus going through your fifth house is polishing this creativity and how much more beautiful or polished you can express what talents you've unlocked through Virgo season. So, namely, Taurus, this is really going to examine the nature of how your relationships with others are actively forming new behavioral patterns, are actively shifting your habits. And this is why I like to now juxtapose the opposition. This is expressly opposite social Scorpio, right? Taurus, which is an individual, one of the four anti-social, meaning opposite social sign personalities, right, has a social work house. And then social Scorpio has an individual Aries sixth house, work house, which would suggest that even though Scorpio is social, they might prefer working alone, even if they're team players who work with other people. They may do better working independently or really kind of tying in this individuality. And even though Taurus is individual and keeps to themselves, they may do better working in partnerships, working with other people. That's not entirely what it's supposed to mean, but it's very interesting to keep in mind. None is a less. You heard me? Huh? So with that being said, please keep in mind that all of this is going to break through Scorpio season. And we know that once we step into Scorpio season, this is going to very appropriately as well put you in a position to square Pluto in Aquarius. And we're going to have that seventh house. And I'm going to show you in about a month from now, we're going to have that seventh house square to Pluto in Aquarius. Right? And with that square, what that's going to do is put you in a position to realistically now begin, especially at the end of Scorpio season, Uranus is going to retrograde back and we're going to have that full circle moment where we conjunct it at 27 degrees. But of course, now we're opposing in Scorpio. That's what this is setting up. And this is going to and why is that important? This is going to harvest very, very amazingly this final innovation of your value you've been setting up for like close to a decade now. All right, which is what makes this very unique in practice. So please keep in mind you're getting ready for this level of breakthrough. And this is the last point through this, which is going to enable you to do just that. Okay. So why this is very exciting, as we will talk with Virgo and how this is going to manifest social value. So this is Virgo's money house. And then we're going to talk about with Capricorn, how this is them achieving success and then setting new goals. Taurus, this is the season you're going to be in a position to really set not only your lifestyle, but prepare to create the way of life you're going to bring, of course, into this new world coming into next year. Because we will have Saturn and Neptune that you're starting this conjunction with in your 12th house. And that's going to really challenge very greatly a whole lot of how it is you are in a position to realistically, step into how you're going to be releasing unconscious habits around yourself and really understanding yourself in ways you may not have seen, almost like bringing this to the surface. And that's also going to revisit this past Aries season with the Venus that was retrograding through your 12th house. All right. So in a very short season, you're going to really establish a lot of assumptions people have around you and your behavior. You kind of nip them in the bud. You debunk rumors, and you kind of make very clear people might have got you effed up. But we also want to take into account Mars that's going to be in your 7th house. So Mars in the 7th house will already ahead of time have you initiating and taking action guided by desire towards others. And how this desire that is being stimulated towards others can also, since for you Taurus risings, this will be in your 7th house of open enemies, or it'll be opposite your sun and moon. It can trigger and influence, this sense of people being antagonistic towards you, aggressive towards you, assertive towards you, if you yourself are not being assertive towards others. But you will see, as you are integrating how you are relating with others and you fit this into your lifestyle and your routine, how this breaks through. Now, what's also really cool too, unsurprisingly, some of you may get a job. Some of you are either going to renovate your current place of work, or you're going to be able to find new work. And this is where now the Uranus trine in your 2nd house of finances, grand air trining Mercury and the sun in your 6th house, and then connecting with Pluto in your 10th, is with this new moon cycle, activating a new direction in your routine. All right. Like Bonnie got a job. All right. And it'll be interesting how now this bridges what you have versus what you're wanting to accomplish. And the unconventional quality of Uranus here can align with independent work you're already doing, right? This can also take independent work you're already doing and unexpectedly have it begin to support more consistently. This is where now the trine to Uranus will begin to integrate, coming into breakthrough, more independent, of course, success through this as well. So this is definitely going to be very interesting. But yes, that's, I think, one of the very good things to look forward to. For those of you who definitely are wanting to improve on your current work situation, whether you even want to work or not, this is what is going to have you navigate through this, with Mars already having you feel and move towards people you want to develop closer connections to, more intimate connections to. And that's where that square to Pluto in your 10th is going to challenge who you have in your corner versus how that influences breakthroughs in your career. All right. And of course, with Jupiter, that is expanding your psychic abilities and your mindset and your emotional intelligence. This is just going to add more nuance relative to what you're feeling immediately with people, how that reflects through your attitude and mindset, and how that adds more empathy towards what you're dealing with. And that's also now going to be a challenge as we come into later into Libra season, coming into the next couple of weeks. We are going to have that square to your 3rd house in Cancer. All right. Or at least this angle that it will make. And that square is going to challenge, as you are expanding this psychic potency, this intuitive understanding, how much more this will also relate to your belief systems around what kind of friends do you want around you. This is going to challenge how you integrate all of that into your current routines and lifestyles. All right. Especially new abilities that you've been awakening, and how you incorporate that into your work. And mind you, Saturn in Pisces is making sure you're not around bums. You're not around the wrong friends, who are going to really end up holding you back. This is what's challenging you to take these social resources in order to really establish this dream team. Because this is definitely going to, you're still within the midst of coming into all the rewards you've deserved. I think that's very important for you to understand, Taurus, Sun, and Rising. Like, this is putting you in a position to come into Saturn, everything you've worked for, like, especially if you're over 30, the past 30 years. So that in a nutshell, I'm going to kind of be a little bit vague with that, but that's what we're going to get with Taurus. And this is what's going to, of course, I think with the sixth house, really put you in a nice position to take everything since May and tie it together. This will add a lot more logical awareness and understanding to bring you up to speed to how realistically you'll be able to push forward with things as well. And of course, now that we're after the South Node eclipse, it's all happening. We're applying everything that you've really changed. And because Uranus is going through your second house of money, this is what's going to really apply how it is you allocate these funds and secure more consistency to increase on your worth and to come into more, success and rewards. Everything you establish here in Libra season, we're going to take to Aquarius season. And that's going to activate, of course, this next cycle of the party we have in the 10th with Pluto, and how much you'll be awakening so much more, notoriety and reputation. So that being said, let's actually step into Virgo. So Virgo, this is pretty cool because we already had your season. We already stepped into, of course, your rising or your sun. We had the eclipse in your sign, which is very much so a huge deal. And you are the event space and portal that is really tying people into their dreams. This was actually so cool. Like, in order to give you an example of what I mean when I say that Pisces and Virgo are event spaces right now, if you talk to any Virgo sun, Virgo rising, they're literally in the flow of destiny. So I went into a Lyft vehicle and the driver of the Lyft was a Virgo. And immediately, as soon as I got in the car, this dude is just talking to me about his ex-girlfriend and how everything is faded and tying together. The conversation he was saying spoke to me. It's almost as if I was meant to hear it. That's destiny. That it's not like you have to only be a Virgo to have those experiences with people. But last year it was Libra and Aries. Now it's Pisces and Virgo. Like, random occurrences are not just random occurrences. They're being conduits through which the flow of destiny can align all these people. And Virgo is social, so they're going to, through that channel, connect with a lot of people. And then Pisces is, of course, pointing people to the beyond, outside of the physical. But Virgo with the South Node is making sure your facts are straight and your behavior is aligned as necessary, whether challenged or not. So now that we have now activated for you this analysis of course, how it is you're expressing yourself, which is very important, because what do we know, Virgo, about the past 6 months? You had the eclipse in your 7th house. So you did have this period where you unlocked opposite your sun, right? Or in your 7th, everything, the integrity of everything that constitutes who you believe you should move forward with in partnerships. And I think that's the most important thing to really, once again, establish, Virgo. Relationships for you are super significant because it's almost as if fate, karma, and destiny are rerouting the way with which you relate with current existing partners or setting you up to meet new partners. Over the past 6 months, if you've fell out of favor with certain people, if you've broken up with certain people, if things aren't looking promising, that is literally destiny changing the train tracks around who is around you, who you move forward with. This may even unlock more depth and commitment in existing relationships and partnerships with people. This is especially true if you're a Virgo rising, because Saturn, that is in your 7th house, prepares you for marriage. It prepares you for business partnerships, and it prepares you for probably even divorce for some of you. That's why this could also be breaking up. And that's why that's very significant, because you know what I mean? This puts you in a position to now 6 months later of you know, ever since you unlocked why you believe you're around the people and what you believe you should hold space. Now you're analyzing now how over the past 6 months you have held space for the people you're in relationships with. And that 6 month level of analysis did what, Virgo season? It adjusted your analysis of yourself. You know what? I held it down over the past 6 months. These people try to play me and I did this. This is how I'm going to respond to it. Or I've really connected with this person in particular over the past 6 months. This is how I feel about this person and I'm ready to move forward with this person, because you're breaking through what you've done since Pisces. And now we're applying this in Libra season. You are activating the next cycle of your social value. And that's why we know Libra is relationships and partnerships. The way Virgo in theory and practice makes money is through partnerships. And you can say that generally partnerships are always going to be the way for success, but we see this applied directly with Libra in the second house. Also, if you're Virgo rising, since Libra is a superpower, you actually have superpowers. There you go. So it is what it is. Pop. So like Libra in your second house is not only activating the social value, but unlike Taurus, why this is very dope is, well, you now have Uranus in your 10th house. And I think that's what the coolest thing about this period is. You have finished the Uranus through your 9th house that has been innovating unconventional ways with which you are self-taught, which is innovating the ways with which you can revolutionize the values that enable you this solid quality of learning and teaching. And now that it's in your 10th house, Jupiter last year, which expanded what more you can achieve, now you're innovating throughout the rest of the decade, of course, all this success that you're unconventionally going to be coming into. And this is why this is dope. Now you have Uranus in this 10th house region. And what is the sun in Libra doing? It's monetizing it. So do you see how the sun and Mercury in this second house region is making you aware of what specifically you are drawing from this 10th house of success? The gross pay. You are bringing gross pay in the 10th, 11th to net pay in the second. And that's what's going to constitute this subsequent square that we will see by the time Venus enters your second. The square from net pay in your second to gross pay in the 11th. And this is a very good position to be in, Virgo. I really am somewhat envious of your position too, because it is pretty badass. You have Uranus transiting your 10th, and then you have Jupiter transiting your 11th. So you are expanding these rewards and this feeling of victory that's going to continue to enlarge it. And this is where now the sun in Libra wants your self-esteem and confidence in yourself to match individually the sense of rewards you are quite literally coming into. Okay. And it's very important because if you're not necessarily able to translate that as you're manifesting your social value in public, you're going to shortchange yourself. But at the same time, if with Jupiter you overestimate your value, this can enable you to push people away. So this is what's going to integrate the previous conjunction we had marking Sun Jupiter in your 11th in Cancer. And once again, given the trine it's making to Uranus in the 10th, it's going to sneak peek what we're going to do next year. And thank you, Virgo goddess, for feeling this. This is very important. And I'm glad you can actually feel it unfolding because it's one of the coolest aspects to me. Because Uranus going through the 10th is virality. It's putting your ideas out there in a way that's accepted Whereas before it was just seen as crazy, and people are going to still see you as crazy, but some of you people are going to see you as genius. Okay. You Virgo over the rest of the decade is going to be responsible for unprecedented genius ideas that have them innovate success that people are going to be copying. And now you, for the first time, are feeling and being aware of what kind of value you can bridge in your partnerships with people. Like, oh yeah, no, I made this happen. So now my feature price is up. Like you're showing people how you can bring that much more value to people. Oh, I actively helped this person with their criminal case by myself. So like now the leverage people might have felt they had over you, they have literally less of. And this is going to begin to innovate how much more effortlessly you can directly manifest these superpowers of bridging as well. Okay, Virgo's looking for what makes them specifically valuable in these relationships. And now that's where now Pluto in the 6th house in Aquarius is now taking this unconventional success you're breaking through into and then tying it into the awareness of how specifically valuable you are in these relationships. And it's integrating this supernatural awakening of how you are advancing your own lifestyle and other people's routines. And that's the other coolest thing. Like Pluto going through your 6th house in Aquarius is awakening the supernatural quality of your lifestyle. It's already taking the advanced nature of how you live your life and can pretty much hack reality. And it's tying into now this value into how you'll make it consistent and how you apply that supernaturally. And this is a unique aspect that is specifically starting this year, as you can see with this grand air trine. And just to once again remind you, we never had this last year. We never had this last year. This is the first of its kind in like over 248 years with Pluto. So next year, we're going to see this again, just at a higher degree. 2027, we're going to see this again, just at a higher degree, except the North Node is going to be here. So that's why I'm highlighting this now. This is the first time you're going to start to notice, oh my gosh, wow, I'm really on it. And the reason why I want to personally, you know what I'm saying, kind of establish it like that is to give you this idea. I'm just joining. Is this for a specific sign or a general transit? CJ, this is specifically for Tauruses, Virgos, and Capricorns. We just did the Tauruses. You can catch me on YouTube. If Instagram doesn't let you replay, I'm live on YouTube. You can catch the replay. We're on Virgo rising and sun right now. So that's a really dope. You have Virgo, you have such a perfect position here, especially being the social personality, the social spirit, because you really do integrate both polarities of individuality and collectivism. And so it's taking this individually defined success, you're manifesting action socially to add to your money. And this is going to tie, you're going to bring that to January. You're going to bring that to Aquarius season, where you're going to awaken more genius and advancement in how it is you tie it together, on how this higher knowledge of not just how you tie it together, but awakening supernatural, otherworldly quality into. I want to really illustrate that certain things that you feel might be mundane to you now, back in the day they would have seen as magic. Back in the day they would have seen as supernatural. So I want you really, and if there are any Virgos in the chat, can you confirm this for me? Because that's actually pretty fucking wild and crazy for me to say, that you're awakening a supernatural lifestyle. Libra has 6th house Pisces. They're unlocking the dream life, but like you are unlocking this genius, supernatural quality of life that is going to add for so much ease of efficiency. This is geared towards automating everything for you, setting and forgetting, because you are the master of consciousness here. And this is where now Virgo in your sign, when Virgo is in your sign, it adds to this. It polishes, it adds beauty to you. The stereotype I like to use is people notice you more, right? People not only notice you more, people start to actually give you props because Venus is attracting people to you. You're polishing this sense of beauty with you. And I like how you said it's unraveling slowly. It's like a slow unfolding that we're going to see over the rest of the decade. I'm awakening a supernatural understanding about humanizing and criminal defense. And that's really beautiful because you're innovating traditional fields, and it's enabling you to now take layers that exist outside of the construct but still integrate it in that construct, which is going to work towards now also innovating the field entirely and having you contribute unprecedented quality as a result. All right. Let's also not forget, we still do have Saturn and Neptune retrograding in Pisces. So by the time we end Libra season, as we can see, we will see Neptune has finally made it back into Pisces, coming into like the first week of Scorpio. And that's going to directly impact you, Virgo, because that's your op house. And it's just going to revisit now that you've gone back to your birthday and you've broken through how much more you're aligned with destiny and karma. Now at the Libra end, how you're going to preserve your value. And opposite Chiron and Aries is healing these boundaries to make sure that your value is not played with. And that's why you're going to feel like slapping the shit out of people who are pretty much just trying to play you. Okay. I'm guilty of this myself. A good Virgo friend of mine had to pretty much let me know how the way I'm speaking to him is just pretty much just a no-no. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy for me to think, no, you don't know what he's saying. I'm right. But realistically speaking, it is on point. And this is that Chiron in the 8th that's going to be very sensitive about it. It's going to be very no nonsense about it. I literally had a gentleman thank me for my energy grounding the entire space. I was so grateful he could see and sense one of my superpowers. Okay. And so Virgo kind of being in that South Node is going to unlock this sense of finesse, polish, beauty, while Mars in the 3rd house in Scorpio is going to intensify this psychoanalytical attitude. It's going to apply more intuitive quality in nature relative to you just sensing immediately why someone's behaving the way they're behaving, how someone's behaving the way they're behaving. It's going to really enhance, in a certain sense, the depth of how it is you'll be forming your decisions as well, and how this impacts your attitude. So mind you, at the end of Libra season, we will see Mercury and Mars and the moon back. Right now, the moon is with Scorpio while the sun is 2 degrees. And when we end, the moon's going to be back in Scorpio. So this is going to just intensify in alignment with your beliefs around how you're applying this transformation of your attitude towards the responsibility and accountability you're destined to hold others accountable to, towards who achieves these rewards with you. And I think that's the most important thing to really accept, Virgo. You are winning it huge. I don't think people know you have already won it big. Like, people don't really understand the quality of what you're working on. And this intangible water in this reward spaces can make it look like it's just a theory to some people. And this is where now the 7th house Pisces is Saturn testing relationships for you. Who is worthy to really enjoy this Jupiter exaltation in your 11th? Because it's a huge splash. And by the time it starts to retrograde in Scorpio season, your attitude is about to really apply and shape to, oh, wow, I really do have my foot on these people's necks. Like, I really am killing the game right now. So that's really interesting. And this is going to really do a whole lot by the time Venus goes into your 2nd to very powerfully not just polish, but add so much to your value. So you can really look forward to a lot of realistically coming into a lot more money that you actively generate and manifest relative to the actions you are actively taking with the right people. Yes, I've been working on some projects. I've had so many people look down on me, but I know I'm creating something special. Thank you, Her Holiness. Like, if people actually knew the depth of what you were actually working on and doing, they would switch their attitude immediately. And now that's a form of protection, because if they have ulterior motives, then they probably wouldn't be around you for the wrong reasons. So this is just kind of exposing and unveiling elements of their character and what they're really, around you for. But it's also setting you up for next year where you're going to fully step into this innovative genius and succeeding through this. So once again, been working on my skills in futures, made more than a job. I got laid off. I want to start. Yeah. Shout out to futures. Definitely. If I could, I want to just exclusively trade futures and not do anything else. You know what I mean? But yeah, that being said, this is going to really build the pipeline of manifesting what you're doing in your projects to build value. And then by January, February, when we're in your workhouse, you're going to unconventionally make this more consistent. Coming back into June of next year, you're going to break through into more success. It comes back into your second. So this is the first of its quality that we will see extend over the next few years. And you have that to look forward to, Virgo. Now, if we do Capricorn, last but not least, all right, what we're going to see here with this is a very uncanny sense of concluding what it is that was started last year, January. Last year, January and December. Okay. And that's why it's important to really acknowledge this quality of completion. Cancer season began to break through the previous cycle. And now you have Jupiter in your seventh house. So that means Jupiter is opposite your Capricorn moon, or it's opposite your Capricorn sun, or it's opposite your Capricorn rising. And the reason why that's significant is it's taking 6 years of evolving the integrity of your character, especially spiritually, and how you express this integrity as a collective spirit or an elite embodiment. And now it is breaking through how you have integrated this integrity and have applied this enlightenment of your behavior through Gemini so that you can feel and expand what more you can do with others. Okay. And yes, it took 6 years. 2020, Jupiter was in, of course, Capricorn. 2021, it was in Aquarius. 2022, it was in Pisces. 2023, it was in Aries. 2024, it was in Taurus. And 2025, it came out of Gemini. 2025, 2026. All right. We could say like 2019, 2020, it went into Capricorn if we want to kind of bridge years. So 5-6 years, give or take. And this is where now this is evolving all your partnerships with people. This is activating new partnerships with people. And ever since we activated this Cancer conjunction with Jupiter in your seventh house, what do we know else happened? Well, we also had Saturn and Neptune go into your fourth house. And that's a very important contention here. Saturn and Neptune, that is reimagining. And that's why, okay, you started in real estate is very interesting too. Saturn and Neptune going into this fourth house can also add more to this real estate. It could really reimagine. Now it's developing in a big deal, the autonomy for you to own your own home space and for you to reimagine this comfort zone around how much more authority you have being authentic in these private spaces and opening up around who you trust with your authentic self. Okay. So this is where that Neptune Saturn square to Jupiter in the seventh is holding this integrity relative to this inner authenticity and how this expands with this inner control, how much more you can succeed with other people. Who you even trust with other people, what you even trust with other people. And now that's where, since then, where is the sun? Now it's completed this breakthrough through Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, and it's begun completion from Libra, Scorpio to Sagittarius. So you are going to be experiencing success. And of course, Capricorn's signature of success is going to be seen in the partnerships developed that signal this success, right? The CEO that's going to be very particular around who he or she is being seen with in public. That is a 10th house Libra theme. And Mercury is already wrapping around your brain processing to come into information around how you are achieving these goals, as well as what goals you want to achieve moving forward. Okay. And now this is where, with Saturn and Neptune retrograding back into this third house space or range, right? It is revisiting this reevaluation with your mindset and how your belief systems form your attitude with which is actively warping your reality, because you are at the God level, Capricorn. And now, relative to Neptune getting ready to come back to reconstruct your imagination and this relationship with the astral realm, what did you do? You finished out of Virgo season. Virgo season unlocked the analysis around your reality warping supernatural abilities, especially for those of you who believe in magic. What Virgo season served to do was to literally spell out and detail the analysis of causality between what your mindset imagines and what happens. You know, life is what I make it. I think I'm gonna have an amazing day today. I might even be given a free cup of coffee. You go to the coffee shop, you got a free cup of coffee. It's that real time. That's what Capricorn is not telling you. They are actively influencing their reality real time, like the GOAT, controlling that shit. And I think that's incredible. It is the elite level. That's where Virgo shifted the analysis of your philosophical approach. That's what that whole eclipse was for you. It's like, oh my God, there is a real basis here. I just remember saying, oh, I hope that she gives me a free cupcake. And she asked me for a cupcake, especially if you're a Capricorn rising. Because, and I love this with Virgo goddess in the 9th house of God, right? You're aware of this dynamic. So the whole purpose of Virgo is to make sure that your mindset is aligning with this philosophical approach, showing you the reality of, oh, I believe this, and this is how it exactly happened. I believe this, and this is how it exactly happened. You activated this in March. You started to integrate it in June, where you started to support this belief with ideas like, oh, wow, maybe this can and is possible because I did think this and then this happened. And now by Virgo, 6 months of development, you've mastered it. So that mastery is what you are applying to your career. It's like, okay, today I'm going to have 60 clients come to my store. And what do you know? 60 clients came to your store. Do you see how now I'm using this analogy of reality warping, mastering reality warping, and now applying it to achieve success in your career, which I think is a very important distinction because science will tell you this is impossible. And so I want confirmation. Can anybody let me know, is this what you're actually experiencing? Am I exaggerating? Like, is it really that instant? Or are you still kind of doubting your mindset, right? Is there a lot of doubt with Saturn in your third? And are you just kind of clouded? Because that's the challenge with the North Node in your third house. It is unlocking this unadulterated mastery and control over how your beliefs influence your attitude. These are unlocking supernatural abilities and skills that people would call you a liar if you told them you can literally do casually at will. And that is a testament to your power. I mean, I'm using a supernatural extreme element, but none of this can play out in a mundane way as well. This could totally play out totally mundane in a way that makes more sense as well. But now this is what you're going to be applying in Libra. This is going to activate connections and partnerships with people that directly lead to your success as well, especially if you're Capricorn rising. So you could definitely look forward to this. And now this is where the square that we're going to have once again between Libra in the 10th house for you, or 270 degrees from your sun, to Jupiter in the 7th, is going to challenge how now this active expansion of who is in your corner, right? And who you're developing these partnerships with, how does that achieve more success for you? Or how does that get in the way of success? Are you spending too much time with other people that you don't focus on your goals? Or are you able to take your goals and incorporate the people who you're working with to help push you forward? That's going to be that 7th house, 10th house challenge. That it doesn't have to even be a bad thing. We're going to see Mercury enter your 11th house of secret societies and cult followings. All right, it doesn't have to be that. But, this is going to just intensify now the net pay, the gross pay you come from that, the depth of wisdom that you will start to already gain from people close to you. We did have Venus polishing this mastery of your techniques. So that's also while you are, of course, applying this in your career, Venus is polishing how much more perfect and clean you can express these abilities and mindsets. So that once Venus now makes it into your 10th, you are now polishing these level of rewards you're coming into and accomplishments. And that's why we need to talk about Pluto in your 2nd and Uranus in your 6th. So now, unlike Taurus and Virgo, Pluto in your 2nd is awakening a supernatural quality of wealth. And now when I'm saying that you are manifesting your mindset real time to warp reality, it's Pluto in Aquarius that over the next 20 years is awakening this supernatural quality to warp your reality, to add this knowledgeable intensity and to manifest the quality of your knowledge, which of course will take a much more extreme quality. And it's Uranus over the rest of the decade that's going to apply this innovation of the quality of your talents in order to innovate the mindset around your routine and behavior. This is actually really cool because if for those of you looking for work or looking for jobs, this is going to perhaps align you with, jobs that have advanced technology, innovative technology. Take an existing job. You might see that they're updating all the technology in that job. They're updating the cashier registers. They're updating the stuff used. But this is also innovating how genius it is you live your life and routine. This is geared towards making this so much more effortless and putting you in a position to, of course, open up so much of, what it is you can do. By the way, for those of you who, as always, want a live reading, click the description box below. If you want me to, kind of speak on any transits or how this affects your chart, you're totally welcome. I don't know if it's an opening or closing square with your moon, but the thing with Saturn square moons is you can't necessarily resist what Saturn is trying to tell your moon sign. It's it's either cardinal, mutable, or fixed. So Saturn, unless you're talking about the transit Saturn, but Saturn that's squaring your moon is just challenging your emotions to align with what you're being tested on and where you're being called to feel that integrity. So that's why it's a harsh aspect, because it's not going to be comfortable. Like you might feel a certain way, but Saturn is pushing you to respond or acknowledge a element that is literally out of the element of your moon. So yeah, that being said, though, you're going to be applying this innovation of your routine towards now how this adds to your success, how this innovation of how you live your life brings more success with the people who you're coming into the success with. But I want you to see that grand water trine between your 3rd house with the 11th house Scorpio and the 7th house that we're going to end Libra season off with. Really harvesting this vulnerability in your Chiron 4th house Aries to break through into more success. And this is going to really tie around this empathic triplicity of divinity sense of feeling around how much in control you are expressing with the right people deeply, very, very profound facets of your mindset, right? This totality around these belief systems that influence your attitude, you're fully going to express trine Jupiter to expand how it opens up and evolves your partnerships and steps you more into, connecting with the right people, how it is you connect with the right people. So all of that is going to prepare for Scorpio season, and that's going to put you in a position to now dive deeper and transform the quality of who you're connecting with. Of course, for you, Capricorn, we're in the conclusion arc. So after you gain these accomplishments, you're going to come into these rewards, and then we'll release everything Sagittarius season, start it again for you, Capricorn. So that's what we got for the earth signs. I think that was pretty fun. As we can see, these are the workhouses being, developed. Taurus, you're going to either get a job or you're going to innovate your current work. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely going to integrate how it is. You're going to tie all this together that you've begun innovating. Virgo, you're going to really kind of activate so much more leverage in your partnerships and apply this innovation of success towards what more money comes from it, or value, social value. And then, of course, Capricorn, you are completing this breakthrough since the summer and really establishing not only success, but closing out the previous 30 years, 10 years, 20 years of how you've been engaging socially, and prepare for the next few cycles that are going to break you into a whole new type of success. I'm going to now resume tomorrow with the air tribe report. We're going to break down Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And until then, you guys stay nothing but blessed. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As always, this is just too much fun. And I will catch you guys when I catch you guys. Peace.